Hi there, Camille here, one of the trustees at People in Harmony. Our charity supports and celebrates mixed race. I'm also joined here by Faris, who is one of our lovely junior People in Harmony members. Hi Faris.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm great, thanks. I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome. Faris, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and also what the viewers will be tuning into today?
So I'm Faris, I'm 12 years old and I joined People in Harmony last year. I'm really interested in sports and journalism, and today I'll be taking our interview with our very special guest.
Sounds exciting. Thank you, Faris. So before I let you get into that, let's bring in our guests, Amina Pagliari. Nice to meet you. Welcome.
Hi. Nice to Thank you. I'm grateful to be here.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us, Amina. So we can't wait to hear about your talents. It's always a pleasure to share with our members young role models such as yourselves who are mixed race and are using their talents in such positive ways. So thank you.
Thank you.
So, Amina, you've been kind enough after the success of your first piece of public artwork, the stunning George Floyd piece, to create a project around mixed race for our charity, People in Harmony. The project was to express in a self-portrait what your mixed race embodies to you, and to answer the questions, what is mixed race? And the question that we all get asked, so what are you? So just before Faris takes it away, have you enjoyed the project, doing the self-portrait, and has it enabled you to celebrate and express your mixedness through your artwork?
I would definitely say, yeah. It was a challenge to create. I'm not going to lie. Self-portraits are quite hard because you're so critical of yourself, and you want it to look exactly like you. But overall, I was very happy with the outcome, and yeah, it made me think more about expressing my mixed race identity in my art, because I hadn't done it before. I hadn't thought of it, but it's such a big part of my life that I definitely will carry on with it. Thank you.
That's amazing. Well, we're excited to hear more. I think we also have a video of you doing your project and actually the processes that you use to paint your self-portrait that we'll post up also with the George Floyd piece alongside this interview. And it's amazing to watch, honestly, guys. So you'll enjoy watching the video of Amina and her talents. So yeah, I think that's enough from me. We'll go ahead with the interview. Faris, young man, can I hand it over to you and let's hear more from you guys. Thank you.
So thank you for giving us an opportunity to interview you. This is Amina. She's 19 years old, lives in Bedford and is studying art at Loughborough University. So for my first question, who inspired you to be an artist, and have other people inspired you since you began to focus your study on art?
So I can't remember exactly who inspired me to become an artist, but I vividly remember in lower school, I was fascinated by Vincent van Gogh, and I was inspired by his piece Starry Night. And I was in an ICT lesson and I was painting on the computer and trying to recreate the piece. But I think later on in life, artists such as Banksy, Louise Bourgeois, Alison Saar, also, who's a mixed race artist who explores gender, race, culture in her art, really inspire my work today. And during upper school, my interest in politics grew massively, especially because it was a time where Brexit was happening. Donald Trump got elected into the White House, and I used my art as a tool to express my political issues close to my heart, such as Islamophobia, race, and gender.
It's so cool that you get your inspiration from so many people. They must be so talented.
Oh, thank you so much.
For my second question, you have created some amazing artwork linked to Black and mixed race identity. Can you talk us through your creations and what they really mean to you personally? Let's start with your George Floyd piece and then the charity project for us.
So I created a piece inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement, like you said. During the widespread protests, I felt it was my responsibility as a non-Black person to kind of educate those around me through my art. It was at a time where, it was the lockdown. I was very uninspired. I didn't do any art for the whole lockdown. And then suddenly I was angry and I wanted to kind of shed a light on the issue. So I chose to create this piece. It was a portrait of a black male. In the background of the piece, I created lots of texture using paint, and I also collaged all the names of the Black lives wrongfully lost over the past 10 years into the background of the piece, just to create, audiences seeing this, realizing, this is an issue that's gone on for long enough, so, I also, gave all the proceeds to the Black Lives Matter movement, just to give back. And it was very successful. And a lot of people asked for prints of the work later on, which I also gave 100% of the profits to.
That's amazing. Can people still get hold of
the prints? Yeah, they're on my Etsy page. Yeah, they're still there. But yeah, the piece sold originally for £390, which is amazing. And I created the piece within 3 days, and I was just on it. I was like, I need to get this done, and yeah, it worked really well. I'm so happy. It's the first piece I've ever actually sold, so it was a big deal for me. Yeah.
I think when I first saw it, the first thing that caught my eye was that it actually creates a story, and that you can move around with the piece of art and actually read and yeah, listen to a story. Yeah, it's fantastic. Thank you, Faris.
That was so interesting. And question number 3, and this is what we're all intrigued by. Do you mind sharing your heritage with us?
Sure. I'm half Pakistani, half Italian, but I also see my being a Muslim as part of my identity too. And one of my artworks that I've created in the past, called Scapegoats of the 21st Century, I made it at a time I felt very angry and passionate about highlighting Islamophobia that I and other Muslims have faced. In the piece, I depicted the verbal abuse and physical abuse Muslims go through. And the background is made up of hateful speech against Muslims that I'd found online or had been said by politicians. So yeah, I would say being a Muslim is also a big part of my identity too.
Yes, so you mentioned Italy. They did so good in the Euros. Do you watch any football?
No, I don't, unfortunately, but I did keep track of England and Scotland the other day, but no one scored, so that was a bit sad. But yeah.
So you don't have a favourite player then, or no?
No, unfortunately I don't, but my dad does like to watch Scotland because he was from there. But yeah.
That's cool.
Amina, just before Faris continues, so being a mix that is not white and Caribbean, have you found that you do identify yourself as mixed race, and that other people around you who find out your background from your mother and your father are welcoming of the term mixed race?
I think so, yeah. I feel like for me, and this is what I wanted to convey in my piece, I felt for a long time that I didn't feel part of either of my ethnicities. Like I didn't feel Asian or I didn't feel white. I was just me. And I felt that I was too, white for my Asian friends, and I was too Asian to be viewed as Italian. And it was difficult for me. And I think in secondary school, where I was surrounded by a lot more people of color, I found acceptance in myself, and it was great. I didn't feel like I needed to whitewash myself, which happened quite a lot. I was either one or the other. I couldn't be both. But recently I've learned to accept both sides. And in the piece, I show like a physical divide between the colors through I create quite abstract brushstrokes, and like none of the colors really blend together. And that kind of represents my two racial identities, like not kind of going together. But overall, when you look back at the piece, it's a very cohesive piece, and all the colors do go together. It's like when you look at it from a distance. So yeah, that's kind of where I am at the moment. Like I accept both sides. And yeah,
that's great. So you identify as mixed race.
I do indeed, yes.
Fantastic, very beautiful one. Faris, do you have any more questions for Amina?
Yes, one more.
Thank you.
So finally, can we have some tips, please, for those up and coming budding artists out there?
Perfect. Yeah, I think one of the best tips I would give to you is to keep a sketchbook on you all the time. Sketching and drawing forms the basis of all of my art, both digital and paintings. Also, never throw your art away. I learned this in upper school actually. If you created a piece that you're overly critical of, don't throw it away. You can cut it up, collage it into a different piece, and like create a very, very successful piece out of it. Yeah, I would say that's my 2 top tips.
And what did you do to shape and enhance your talent?
I would say again, just keep drawing. Drawing is kind of that connection with your hand and the paper, and being able to see something and drawing it on a sheet of paper is one of the best skills you can have. So I would say definitely you would enhance your talents by drawing all the time.
Okay, and what do you like to draw the most?
I would say I would like to draw eyes the most. I like to draw and paint eyes the most. I love how many colors you see in the human eye. So that's something I do love to draw the most.
Yeah, that's cool. When I finish my test, because I finish them like pretty early compared to everyone else, we get to doodle a lot, and I draw like football shirts.
That's
like, and stuff.
cool.
That's how I do.
That's
Yeah.
cool. And do you paint them too, or is it just a tonal drawing?
No, I just use my pencil and just sketch them out.
That's cool. That's so cool.
And I have one more question actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I watched your 2-minute video, and what I was wondering, what was that spray for on your self-portrait?
So I got my canvas, I sketched out my face, and then I spray this thing called Fixative. So it makes sure that once you apply paint onto it, it doesn't smudge the pencil underneath. So it just kind of fixes the drawing onto it. And then you can paint over it and still see the lines coming through. It's just basically easier to use.
Oh, okay, all right. But thanks for taking the time to talk to me today, and good luck for the rest of your studies.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's amazing. Thank you, Faris. Amina, before you go, what is your next project? What are you creating at the moment? If you let on.
Oh, so a restaurant in Bedford have contacted me asking to create a few pieces for them, which I'm so excited about. So I think it's a vegan restaurant. So I'm doing a few abstract pieces with oil painted leaves and stuff like that. So that's the next project I'm working on at the moment.
Amazing. That's fantastic. So I'll be sure to catch up and have a look at those.
Definitely.
Let me know what restaurant it is, and I'll pop in and
I will indeed.
Admire them. Thank you very much, Amina. Yeah, we're going to post the interview up onto our YouTube and Facebook, along with your pieces of artwork, the George Floyd piece and the self-portrait, and also the video that Faris mentioned. Just would like to say thank you so much for taking part in the project around mixed race, and yeah, for joining us today. And like Faris said, we hope your studies go really well, and we wish you the best of luck in all your successes. You're amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me here. Thank you.
Thank you, Amina. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. Bye.